Welcome everyone. Thanks for taking the off-ramp to adventure.
It is full of rare, historic, beautiful architecture.
Of course, we're talking about Old Louisville, known as the most haunted neighborhood in America. The town was chartered in 1780 and named Louisville in honor of King Louis XVI of France. That year, it received an influx of over 300 settlers. The city grew due to bourbon sales and professional horse racing.
Today, the city is known as the home of boxer Muhammad Ali, the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Louisville Slugger baseball bats.
You can't forget Jennifer Lawrence and Tom Cruise.
Despite its name, Old Louisville was actually built as a suburb of Louisville starting in the 1870s. It was initially called the Southern Extension, and the name Old Louisville did not come around until the 1960s.
The decline of the popularity of Old Louisville had started by the beginning of World War I with the automobile and the new electric streetcar. Families fell in love with the newer homes in the suburbs that offered improved electric, plumbing, and heating technologies. A lot of the old homes were torn down to make way for parking lots.
Eventually, groups of people fought to save what was left, and they won.
Again, when you're talking about Old Louisville, you're talking about what's called one of the most haunted neighborhoods in America. One of the most famous or infamous of all is the Conrad Caldwell House. It stands as a testament to the abundant lifestyle of the owners, two of Louisville's wealthiest and most prominent businessmen, Theophile Conrad and William E. Caldwell.
Not only did they add a fantastic courtyard, this huge house that's been called a castle featured the latest innovations for that time, including indoor plumbing and electric lighting. You can see it for yourself, inside and out, on guided or self-guided tours.
If you dare. It's said to be haunted by the ghost of William Caldwell, who's said to appear as a very old curmudgeon, yelling, "Stay out of my yard!" Oh, okay, he doesn't actually speak, but it looks good shoe. Whoa! This is the witch's tree. Gnarly looking, huh? Literally. It's said where this tree sits at one time sat another tree that a witch's coven used for their ceremonies.
The city decided to use this tree as a ceremony, and they just thought it was a beautiful tree, perfect tree for a maypole. And that was actually going to be done at the park behind us called Central Park. The witches were very upset about that. They said there is no way you're going to do that. Basically, they said we are cutting it down, so they put a curse on the tree. And exactly 11 months later, down this road, this actual road, a tornado came just barreling down, and lightning actually struck. And where the lightning struck the old stump, they say a new tree grew immediately, this one that's all gnarly and twisted, and to this day is being given tributes because they're afraid the witch's curse might come back. What I find really fascinating about this is that to this day nobody will let anybody cut that tree down. The story goes that people are really scared to even put a saw to a limb. Just walking these neighborhoods is so fantastic. I can actually picture us living here, hon. How about you? Oh, I could.
Oh, by the way, you see that building up top left? Supposedly, late at night, around the witch's tree, you might see an old witch looking out the window. Again, that's probably just a story. Talk about old Louisville, look at that. What is it, C.C. Stillglitz and Sons, 1911. Oh, Louisville, for sure. And look at this tree. Look at the root. This is the sidewalk. It is growing right along between the street, the curb. This tree is determined to live. Asphalt won't stop me. That is just amazing. Look at that. Wow. Both sides, all the way.
This one is amazing. It's not going down, it's going out.
Yeah, it doesn't come forward. It goes to either side. It's just amazing. Can you see some of these houses and trying to imagine yourself actually living in them? I can't imagine having a house that big and trying to figure out what to do with it. Gonna have your family move in. Ready to say ooh and ah a lot? Oh. Look at this. Wow. This is called St. James Court. Just row after row of immaculate houses, homes, mansions, whatever word you can come up with for huge, wonderful places to live.
Coming up on this little haunted beauty is called the Pink Palace.
It started as a gentleman's club and casino back in the late 1800s. Eventually got bought by, ironically, the Christian Women's Temperance Union, who, in an effort to get rid of that gentleman's club title and feel, painted it pink. It eventually wound up with the Avery family. Remember that name? There will be a quiz. Look at that, old-time gas lights. Where do you see those anymore? Welcome back to the 1800s. And William Avery became owner of the house and became very protective of it. He loved this house to such an extent he would have given his life for it. Oh, look at this. This is your side yard of the Pink Palace. This is amazing.
During the 1970s and 80s, parts of the Pink Palace became apartments, and a single woman moved in. And when she moved in, she found herself face to face with a 6-foot-tall older gentleman in a white suit as she fixed dinner, who said,
"I am Avery." Avery was a previous owner, and it said he shows up when someone might be in danger. And no, she didn't run. As a matter of fact, one night she bravely turned off the light and took a bath in dim lighting where Avery showed up. This time the woman reacted and sat up really quick, just as a huge chunk of rock came through the bathroom window and struck the tub right where her head had just been.
Did Avery, the former owner of the Pink Palace, save her life?
A couple of burglars who had been waiting for the lights to go out and rob the place had thrown that huge chunk of rock trying to break in, so evidently, yes, Avery had saved her life. This is one of those kind of places you could easily picture yourself moving into. Of course, every house probably has its own ghost story, but it just makes it fun.
Well, when you think about how old these houses are, the money that it took to build them, and then just the opulence of what was once.
Man.
So many people have stepped back into this area and they're taking care of these houses. I think the old story is you're always working on them, you never get done. There's always something going wrong.
It's a great thing about these houses, you're never finished working on them.
In the middle of this street is this huge grassy area. People come out here once a year in October, and it's called the St. James Art Fair. It is an amazing group of talented people that come from all over. I mean, people even from other countries to display their wares here. It's in October.
Yeah, if you can, get down to Louisville and catch the St. James Art Fair. It's one of the big events of the year that everyone clamors to get to, and this street is just full of thousands of people. The Pink Palace, and just awesomeness everywhere. And some are actually, yes, being worked on. Oh, and who's this? Wait, who's this? Who's this under the lamppost? I'm thinking the St. James Court lamp lighter. And he's gonna eventually light that lamp. This is a cool sculpture. I don't think it's made out of wood, but it's made to look like wood though. I don't know if the camera's actually catching the... There it is. This is cool. History is so fun sometimes. And look at this fountain. Wow, wow, wow. As great as St. James Court is, we've still got one more place to show you that has a really interesting story behind it. See that glass? The imperfections in it, you can tell that's the original glass from like the 1920s, or maybe even further back. These places probably have a 12 to 15 foot ceiling.
Look at that tree. How
Wow.
unique it is. The way it's just
That is a neat tree. It's tall. You would think this would be related to the witch's tree, wouldn't you? Look at the roots on this thing. Wow, they're sticking out all over the place above the ground. Love this kind of stuff. You know, when you talk about architecture down here, churches, I think have it all. Look at this. Wow.
For those of you that know Muhammad Ali, well, probably everybody.
I think everybody knows Muhammad Ali.
He actually got married. His second marriage was right here in this house, in the front yard.
Right there.
4th and Magnolia.
The church we were just showing you, look at this stained glass from who knows how long. Right next to a modern air conditioning system where you know they had to tear some glass out. Oh, hate to see that happen. And this is the last stop in our story.
Maybe not a haunted church, but the outside steps of the First Church of Christ Scientists are said to have the spirit of a young woman who paces back and forth, waiting for her boyfriend to leave his military base to meet her.
She was betrothed to an older man, but had fallen in love with this younger man and would sneak out to meet him on the steps of the church.
One night he didn't show up. Still, she waited because he never failed to show up. But this time she kept waiting, even if her friends stopped by urging her to go home and get out of the cold.
He never showed up. He had been ill with the Spanish flu, and after 3 days, he died.
Not long after, the young lady came down with Spanish flu and she died as well.
Some say the woman can still be seen pacing near the steps of this church.
Again?
This is a really pretty church.
It is. And look at this. Is that marble? Maybe, or is it just concrete?
I can't imagine being a young lady excited about being able to meet up with the one she loves and then leaving and embarking on a new journey. But just the thought, if you see this tree here, this tree had to be here at that time. Probably was about half the size. What a beautiful sight. And then as she turned around and walked again, waiting for him. There's a story that people still put bows here just in remembrance of her, and I don't know if this is one of them or not, but if you see down there, there's an orange bow that's tied right there by that green, I assume that's a newspaper box. Do you see it? Yeah, we don't know that for sure. That's the lady told us in the tour, that sometimes you can come here at certain times of the year and they'll have bows all over this railing in remembrance of her. There's certain times of the year that people will actually come and decorate the railings of this. There's still people here that still remember her and remember the story. And for me, that's just a love story that's unfolding.
Look at this, you can rent these out. I just can't imagine what it would be like to live in something like this. Or this. Or that. Or wow. That. Look at that little turret. An old...
Oh my gosh, look how cool that is.
See it?
Yes.
Can you see the glass? That's what makes it so cool. Wow. Look at this. It's like November 6th. Christmas already. I actually saw Christmas commercials on TV today. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh.
It is beautiful down here at Christmas time. These people really deck these houses out.
Oh yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Look at these leaves. And that's what's pointing them out. I didn't notice them. I'm too busy filming. It's beautiful. This whole street's beautiful. What do you stop on and look at? Wait a minute, what happened? The leaves all over there, then you come over here and nothing.
No leaves.
Somebody's been busy for a while anyway. I'm tired, man. No more leaf raking.
No leaf raking for you.
It just goes on and on, folks. I just keep going, oh, wow. We drive past these, but until you walk and stroll, you just don't take it all in. Aha! I found where the missing leaves went. Yeah, Home Depot came and got them. Way to go, Home Depot. They're waiting for the other side of the sidewalk, though. Yeah, so.
When you think of Louisville, behind us is the Ohio River. So as people were building, they probably built as far as they could away from the water. This being all probably horse farm or farms or
yeah. Kentucky's pretty much built on bourbon and horses.
Because if we're looking at the steps coming away from the water are the most recent houses that were built in like 1899. You keep walking out and they get older.
Look at that. The molding up around the top of the roof there. I'm thinking there wasn't much DIY back then. So call up a dude and get it done right. Did you mention me doing something like that?
No.
The crown molding stuff?
No. Everything is so old down here.
It's a good thing. Speaking of DIY, if you're so inclined, got a new listing for ya. Like I said, I think every one of these houses down here have its own ghost story. Doesn't this just reek haunted? Ooh, it's so fantastically cool.
Do you see the hole that somebody has put in that one piece of wood?
Ooh, I do.
It's almost like that's a peephole.
Had to look, had to see. And there's plastic up there.
Yeah, that one's haunted.
It's haunted, yeah.
You want to buy it?
Oh, sure. You were just making fun of me a while ago, my DIY. You know, she's kidding. She's not gonna live in a haunted house. Would you live in a haunted house? Would you really live in a haunted house?
I don't know. It depends on what they do or say. I mean, if they're just like there and not bothering me, I don't care.
If they're nice, one thing. If they're like,
hey, no, you know what? If they do the dishes and make the bed.
Yes, if you're gonna have a ghost, they might as well be handy.
Yikes. Look at a dead chicken hanging up.
Chicken? But what is that?
It's a chicken.
It's an awfully big chicken.
Yeah.
Big chickens. This one's kind of getting overtaken by nature. It looks like hole in the roof. It looks like that's where the chimney is, where that vegetation's growing out. What a way someone saved this house. And the ghost in it.
If we found a house down here and it was in great shape and all you had to do was just a few little repairs, would you live down here?
It depends how much it was and if it was haunted.
Well, again, if they do the dishes and make the bed, I mean, I'm good.
That's the deal breaker right there.
Thanks, guys, for coming down here in Old Louisville. A very, very cool place. We hope you enjoyed this video.
Thanks for coming along on this adventure. If you liked it, give it a big thumbs up. Share the link. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I probably shouldn't do that. He probably break those up.
Yeah.
Oops, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Get us in trouble in Old Louisville.
I never even thought about it. That guy probably break them.
Anyway.
Probably looking out his window.
He's probably looking out his window going, hey! So, you know, we beat feet. Sorry. Again, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Share the links too. And if you would consider subscribing to the channel, we would really appreciate it.
See you on the next video, guys.
Checking for the leaf police. What? I don't see anybody.
I swear, I thought they would just lay in there. I thought it would just be fun to be like kicking them. I think there was somebody looking at it.
Yeah, I think there was too. That's why we ran. We ran like little chickens is what we did. Beat feet. We're done. We're gone.
We're done.
Never a boring adventure with us.